What if I told you that some of the most profitable businesses in America are not built in offices, factories, or expensive storefronts, but from simple plants growing in backyards, garages, and tiny pieces of land? And the craziest part is that many of these plants cost very little to start, require small spaces, and are still unknown to most people today. Right now, millions of Americans are struggling with rising bills, unstable jobs, and the feeling that working harder no longer guarantees financial freedom. But while most people are stuck competing in crowded industries, a small number of ordinary growers are quietly building powerful income streams from specialty plants that restaurants, health companies, beauty brands, and online buyers are willing to pay premium prices for every single year. Some of these plants can grow indoors. Some can be started with a few containers, shelves, or raised beds. Others continue producing income for years once established. In fact, the global herbal, wellness, and specialty food markets are now worth billions of dollars, and demand keeps growing as more people search for local, natural, and high-quality products. The best part is that you do not need a massive farm, expensive equipment, or years of experience to begin. Many successful growers started as complete beginners, working part-time after their regular jobs. In this video, you're going to discover profitable plants that most people completely overlook, why demand for them keeps increasing, and how ordinary people are turning small investments into life-changing opportunities. So, make sure you stay until the end, because some of the biggest opportunities are the ones almost nobody is talking about yet. And if you enjoy content about financial freedom, smart side businesses, and practical opportunities, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more videos like they. A lot of people today are working harder than ever before, yet somehow falling further behind. Grocery prices keep rising. Rent and home payments keep climbing. Utility bills seem to grow every season. Many families thought that if they worked steady jobs and saved carefully, life would become easier with time. But for many Americans, especially those over 30, that promise no longer feels real. Good jobs disappear overnight. Companies downsize without warning. A person can spend 20 years building a career and still feel nervous every time the phone rings from the office. Even small emergencies like car repairs or medical bills can throw a family into stress. That pressure wears people down slowly. This is one reason more people are looking for simple ways to build extra income outside of regular jobs. Not risky schemes, not expensive businesses, just something real that grows steadily over time. That is where profitable plants come into the picture. Most people never think about plants as serious moneymakers. They picture giant farms, expensive tractors, and endless hard labor under the hot sun. But small specialty growing works differently. Many high-value plants can grow in tiny spaces. Some grow indoors, some grow in buckets, raised beds, or simple backyard gardens. Take microgreens, for example. These tiny greens are harvested in less than 2 weeks and sold to restaurants, health stores, and local markets. Some growers start with a few shelves in a garage and slowly build a steady side income. Then there is lavender. One small patch can turn into oils, soaps, candles, dried flowers, and homemade products people gladly pay extra for because they want natural goods. Garlic is another strong example. Regular grocery garlic may be cheap, but specialty garlic varieties sell for much higher prices at farmers markets and local shops. Buyers care about freshness, flavor, and quality. The important thing is not starting big. The important thing is starting smart. A person with a small backyard already has an opportunity sitting outside their door. Even apartment owners can start small indoor growing setups with little money. Many people begin while still working full-time jobs, learning slowly as they go. The world is changing. More buyers want local products, healthier foods, and natural items they can trust. That demand creates opportunity for ordinary people willing to plant something today, instead of waiting for the perfect moment that may never come. One of the biggest mistakes beginners make is trying to grow whatever looks expensive online without thinking about their own space, weather, budget, or daily schedule. A plant may make good money for one person and become a headache for someone else. That is why smart growers start by matching the plant to their situation instead of chasing every trend they see on the internet. For example, somebody living in a small apartment may do very well with microgreens or mushrooms because both can grow indoors with little space. A simple shelf with lights in a spare room or garage can produce fresh crops every few weeks. Restaurants and health-minded customers love these products because they are fresh, healthy, and locally grown. The startup cost is often much lower than people expect, which makes it easier for beginners to test the waters without risking large amounts of money. Now, somebody with a sunny backyard might lean toward lavender, garlic, or herbal tea plants like peppermint and chamomile. These plants are easier to manage outdoors and can create several streams of income. One lavender field, even a small one, can supply dried bundles, oils, soaps, candles, and handmade gifts. People are drawn to natural products more than ever, especially when they come from local growers instead of giant factories. Climate matters too. Bamboo may grow beautifully in one state, but struggle badly in another. Saffron likes dry conditions and careful handling, while mushrooms prefer cooler, damp spaces. Before planting anything, a smart grower spends time checking what grows well locally. Farmers markets are one of the best places to learn. Walk around, see what people are buying, and notice what is missing. Sometimes the biggest opportunity is not what everybody sells, but what nobody has available. Another thing many beginners forget is time. Some plants grow fast and bring quick returns, while others take patience. Microgreens may be ready in under 2 weeks, but ginseng can take years before reaching full value. Neither path is wrong. It depends on whether a person wants quick extra cash or a long-term investment. The goal is not to become rich overnight. The goal is to choose one strong opportunity, learn it well, and grow steadily over time. Small, smart steps often beat big, risky moves every single time. A lot of people believe starting a growing business takes huge land, expensive machines, or years of farming experience. But the truth is much simpler than that. Many successful growers begin with basic setups that fit into everyday spaces most people already have. Some start in a garage with shelves and lights. Others use a small backyard, an unused shed, or even a spare room inside the house. What matters most is not having perfect conditions. What matters is learning how to build a small setup that works well and is easy to manage. Raised garden beds are one of the easiest places to begin. They are simple to build with wood, soil, and basic tools from a hardware store. Raised beds help control weeds, improve drainage, and make watering easier. Crops like garlic, lavender, herbs, and flowers often grow very well in these spaces. A beginner can start with just 1 or 2 beds without spending thousands of dollars. Many people slowly expand only after they begin making sales. Indoor growing has become popular too, because it allows year-round production. Simple metal shelves with LED grow lights can support microgreens, herbs, or mushrooms in very small spaces. Some growers produce fresh crops every 2 weeks, from a setup no bigger than a closet. That steady cycle creates regular income instead of waiting months for harvest season. Even people living in colder states use indoor setups to keep growing during winter, when outdoor gardens stop producing. Watering is another area where beginners often overthink things. Most small setups only need basic watering cans, garden hoses, or simple drip systems. Healthy soil matters more than fancy equipment. Good soil mixed with compost helps plants grow stronger and reduces problems later. Many successful growers focus on keeping things simple instead of buying expensive tools too early. Lighting also plays a huge role indoors. Plants do not need the most costly lights on the market. Many affordable LED lights work perfectly fine for beginners. The goal is consistency. A small setup cared for daily usually performs better than a giant setup that becomes overwhelming. One couple in Ohio turned part of their basement into a mushroom growing room using plastic containers and humidity fans. Another family in Texas built small raised beds behind their home and started selling herbs and specialty garlic at weekend markets. Neither started with large money. They simply used what they had and improved little by little over time. The biggest secret is that simple systems are easier to maintain, easier to learn, and much less stressful for beginners trying to build something steady and lasting. A lot of beginners think growing plants is the hard part, but the real challenge is learning how to turn those plants into steady income. The good news is that people today are more willing than ever to buy local products directly from small growers. Many customers are tired of factory-made goods that travel thousands of miles before reaching stores. They want fresher products, natural items, and something that feels more personal and trustworthy. That creates a real opportunity for small growers who know how to connect with buyers in simple ways. Farmers markets are often the easiest place to begin. A small table with fresh herbs, garlic, mushrooms, flowers, or homemade lavender products can attract steady attention if the products look clean and well cared for. Many shoppers enjoy talking directly to the grower because it gives them confidence in what they are buying. A friendly conversation can turn a first-time customer into somebody who returns every single week. That kind of trust matters more than fancy advertising. Local restaurants are another strong opportunity, especially for growers producing microgreens, herbs, edible flowers, or specialty mushrooms. Chefs often prefer local growers because the products arrive fresher and taste better than large wholesale deliveries. Some growers begin by visiting small restaurants with simple sample boxes and building relationships little by little. One steady restaurant customer can create reliable weekly income for a very small growing setup. Packaging also makes a difference. Products do not need expensive labels or fancy boxes, but they should look neat, clean, and organized. Even simple brown paper packaging with a handwritten label can feel warm and personal when done carefully. Buyers remember products that feel honest and natural. The internet has opened even more doors for small growers. Many people now sell herbal teas, dried flowers, skincare products, or mushroom kits through social media pages and small online stores. A grower no longer needs a giant business to reach customers. Sometimes short videos showing the growing process help build trust faster than traditional ads ever could. Pricing is another lesson beginners slowly learn. Cheap prices do not always attract loyal buyers. Many customers willingly pay more for quality, freshness, and local products they believe in. That is why branding matters. A small backyard grower with a clear story and consistent quality can stand out even against larger companies. One woman in North Carolina started selling homemade lavender soaps at local weekend markets after growing only a few rows of plants. Over time, repeat customers helped her expand into oils, candles, and gift boxes. What began as a tiny side project slowly became a steady business, built on trust, patience, and simple products people truly enjoyed using. Growing a plant business that lasts is not about rushing or trying to do everything at once. It is more like building a small farm step by step, where each season teaches you something new. Many beginners make the mistake of expanding too fast, planting too many things, or spending money before they understand what actually sells. The stronger path is slow growth, careful learning, and steady improvement over time. When people treat it like a long-term journey instead of a quick win, the results often become much more stable and rewarding. One of the most important habits in long-term success is reinvesting small profits wisely. Instead of spending early earnings on big upgrades, many successful growers put that money back into improving what already works. For example, if microgreens are selling well, they might add one more shelf system instead of starting a completely new crop. If garlic or herbs are doing well at local markets, they might slowly expand planting space instead of jumping into unfamiliar plants. This careful approach reduces risk and keeps things manageable. Another key step is learning how to build a simple brand. A brand is not just a logo or fancy name. It is the feeling customers get when they buy from you. Clean packaging, consistent quality, and honest communication create trust. Even a small grower selling from a backyard can look professional if the products are fresh, organized, and delivered with care. People remember reliability more than anything else. Over time, successful growers also begin adding more than one income stream. This does not mean doing everything at once, but slowly expanding into related products. A lavender grower might start with dried bundles, then add oils or soaps. A mushroom grower might sell fresh harvests first, then later offer growing kits or dried products. Each new step builds on the last one, creating more stability and reducing risk if one product slows down. Patience is another quiet but powerful tool. Plants do not grow overnight, and neither does a strong business. Some crops take weeks, others take months or even years before they fully pay off. But those who stay consistent often find that small daily effort builds something meaningful over time. Many people give up just before things start working, not realizing they were closer than they thought. A good example is a small grower in Michigan who began with a few indoor mushroom boxes in a basement. At first, sales were slow, but instead of quitting, they improved packaging, learned customer preferences, and slowly added new varieties. After a few years, that small basement setup became a steady supply business, serving local restaurants and farmers markets. In the end, growing plants for income is not about luck. It is about patience, small, smart steps, and the willingness to keep going even when progress feels slow. What we see from all these ideas is something very simple and powerful. Building a small plant-based income is possible for almost anyone when they take slow and steady steps. You do not need a large farm, expensive tools, or deep farming knowledge to begin. Many people start with just a few small beds, a corner of a room, or a basic shelf system, and over time, they learn what works best for their space and their local buyers. The key is not speed, but patience and daily care. Even small actions like watering plants, checking growth, or improving soil slowly build into something meaningful over months and years. Real success often comes from repeating simple tasks well, not from doing everything at once or trying to grow too fast. Another important lesson is that money grows when care and consistency are added to the process. Many small growers earn their first income from farmers markets, local customers, or small restaurant orders. In many areas, people are willing to pay more for fresh, local, and honest products, especially when they trust the person growing them. This means even a small setup can become useful if it is managed with care and attention. As time goes on, some growers expand slowly by adding new plants, improving packaging, or creating simple product lines. But they always build on what already works instead of starting over again. Most importantly, this kind of work teaches patience and independence. Plants do not rush, and neither does real growth. Some crops give results quickly, while others take longer, but both paths can lead to steady progress. Over time, even a small beginning can turn into a stable source of income if the person stays consistent and keeps learning. In the end, the message is clear. Start small, stay steady, learn as you go, and let time do its part in building something real and lasting for the future.